You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Collette Ramsey. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern.
Morning to you. Rise and shine up and at 'em. So appreciative of your patience. I saw all of you on the lines. I see all of you. Thank you so much. Your patience means everything to us right here at WHPS TV 33, or whether you're watching us on Roku or Fire Stick or Comcast 90. Thank you. Great, amazing morning to you. I'm going to jump right into the phones. I just want to give us a quick opening on today. Let me just tell you, this is just an aside from everything. I just want to let you know, I need you to stay encouraged. I need you to always look inside for the God voice inside of you and follow what that tells you. And no matter what it looks like around you, always know that you are okay. And even if you are different, and even if your thoughts are different, and even if your ideology is different, and if everything that in your being is telling you it's something different other than what is being presented to you, I want you to know that that's okay. It's all right. Because at the end of the day, there is something uniquely birthing in you that is from you that has a different impact. And no matter what it looks like around you, you have to walk and know that what is happening in you and the ideas that are given in you and what God is creating in you and an assessment that you are bringing forth is all right. And there will be people that will have an eye and an ear to what you're saying. I just needed to say that this morning because coming off of the conversations yesterday, and I've had, and I love you all so much. I love you for the ability to contact me on phone and to text and to send messages because we're having the real conversations. And just as a recap from yesterday, and thank you again, I had Speak Rock in the building to help facilitate the conversation. You all know that he's more than just a speaker. He's a moderator. He's a facilitator. He's a thought provoker. He is a change agent. He's a conversation starter. So whatever you need him for, he can fulfill that position. So definitely reach out to him. But on yesterday, I was asking us to really assess what the conversation around Baltimore looked like. And specifically what it looked like as it pertains to where you are in your space right now. Because a lot of times we are introduced to ideas and we're introduced to scenarios and situations and we believe and media allows you to believe and the propaganda creates a dynamic for you to think that that is not you, that you cannot relate to that, that would never be you, that you should not have some sympathy or empathy or understanding of that space because, oh, it is not you. Until it is you. And so I asked us, with all the rhetoric that was going on and all the conversations that were being had about the president's conversations and comments around Elijah Cummings, Honorable Representative Elijah Cummings, and Baltimore, can we all relate to Baltimore? No matter where you are in this United States, if it is an urban inner city, if it is in rural America, is there a space in your environment that you know is suffering? Is poverty-stricken. City services aren't as the best as they should be. The people aren't living to their potential. They're not filled with hope and encouragement of opportunities ahead, the days ahead, the moments in this day in which they could fulfill their purpose or walk in their purpose. And so I asked us, with all of that being the case, and we understand that to be us, then what do we do with that? Because I believe it is just but a symptom of what the bigger issue is, but people don't want to address the bigger issue. And so specifically as it pertained to Baltimore, and they were talking about just the cleanliness of it, and Trump said the rat infestation and what that looked like. If you look at your own community, how it has an impact on you. And so while everyone, and so the Baltimore Sun had all these different, and we'll talk about the editorial in response to President Trump, and all these people came to the defense of Baltimore, as they should, as we would do in Detroit. We are Detroit, and you're not going to let someone talk about your home. And so if we remove that, put that, so if we're like a whiteboard, right? So we put that, we stick a pin in that, right? So we stick a pin in that we're offended that an outsider had something to say about our home, where we're from, or where we grew up, or where some of us currently live, and we had a problem with that because we didn't believe that an outsider had the right to say those horrible things. So stick a pin in it. Then let's assess what the outsider said. If it is true, if indeed the community is not as clean, if indeed the community has been inundated with abandoned buildings and debris and rubbish and a visual image of blight that it should not have to endure in comparative to what it used to be. And if indeed that is the case, we need to put that on the board and stick a pin in it. Because you know what we do here. We walk this thing out. We work through what it is. Because I want to know, are you mad that he said it, but is what he said true? And if indeed what he said true, then we have another stick pin that then says, what do we do about it? And who do we hold accountable? And so then in the conversation yesterday, I asked you to employ yourself, to look at all of wherever you are right now, the elected officials that are pushing back, that are having the conversations, that are coming up with all these plans of how they talk about legislation and what the mayors look like, because the mayor's responsibility is to administer city services. That is what the mayor's responsibility is supposed to be, specifically. And at the end of the day, if everyone says that they are for the people, by the people, that there's no way that you could know and believe that it is okay for individuals who live in the districts, because you yourself know what your districts look like. But the truth of the matter is, the majority of people that are elected into office in their communities, they don't live in those poverty-stricken areas within their districts. They know that they exist, they know where they are, but that is not where they lay their heads. And it was so interestingly, ironically enough, as it pertained to Baltimore, some news media were reporting that Representative Cummings' house was broken into some hours either prior to President Trump's tweets. So that, again, lets you know that if you don't work to secure and make sure that everyone is whole around you, the person is whole, that they have the services that they need, that they have the educational opportunities that they need, if they have the training that they need to get jobs and be gainfully employed or to be entrepreneurs, if they don't have those things, then if the perception is that you have and you're in that space, they will come to where you are to get what they believe you have to be able to help themselves. So we are each other one way or another because it has a direct impact on you. You all recall some years back, Tupac was having the great lyricist Tupac was having an interview with MTV, and he said it's like when you think about those old days with the peasants at the doors or at the bridges of the castles, and in the beginning they were hungry, but they would sing a nice melody and say, "We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in." And after the third or fourth time of them being so nice, then they would say, "Well, no, we're going to get our guns and kick in the doors with our guns blazing and blasting." Because at some point, you're not going to live in a space that it's a have and have not, and I'm struggling, and then you don't think that I'm going to come to try to get what you have. And so I'm asking all of us that if we don't look at the least of these, it's a representation of us, and it still will have an impact on us. And so the truth of the matter is, A, if you don't have individuals that are supposed to represent you who can best understand the plight of the people, then that governance body does not benefit you. And then if you as a citizen don't have your pulse in the community and the connection to the community, and you are engaged to know that you have to be more and do more for your community, then you can't be the best in that space, and then it still doesn't benefit the community. Or maybe the truth of the matter is the majority of us who can do better than remove ourselves from that space, and so we leave those who can't do better to stay stuck in those spaces as we move into better neighborhoods, as we afford ourselves other opportunities. And we leave them there stuck in the mire because they can't do any better. And then we cause a blind eye. So many of us can say we're from Detroit. Oh yeah, everybody a rep, we're from Detroit. Everybody's from Detroit. But then when the event's over, you're back in the suburbs. You're not in Detroit. You're not off of Mack and Bewick. You're not off of Hamilton. You're not off of 7 Mile. But we want to rep it. We want to claim it. And everyone is talking about, oh, what it looks like and it's so bad and I'm taking offense because I'm from Baltimore, I'm from Detroit, I'm from all these places. But are you really giving back? Do you really have an onus? Do you really take pride in that to the extent that you will go back to make it better for those who are still there? Or as quickly as you can, you're hitting up Woodward to get on out, or hitting 75 to get on back out to the burbs. And so if indeed that is the case, where are we? Let's have a real conversation. And then for those who say, okay, I was having a great conversation with my girlfriend, and that's why I'm so thankful for the friends that I have, because I'm like, well, then if there's some initiatives to help clean up Baltimore, then she said, well, does that mean that you're just believing what Trump said? Are you playing into what he said? I said, well, the truth of the matter is, I don't think that people are struggling, care about who said what. Is someone going to give them a lifeline to make it better for them? So whatever was the motivation or the preimpetus to get some movement and some conversation, because see, we talk a good game, everyone's talking about how they're offended, but out of the conversation comes what? Were there boots on the ground to say, okay, now I'm coming in to, because you right. Absolutely, Trump, you right. And we've known it to be this way, and heaven forbid it's this way, and it shouldn't be this way because our citizens deserve better. So we're going to go in and do something about it. Whatever his motivation was, because we understand his position was to make it a different paradigm and to have people really look, because he's not a politician. He's going to say he's a white man with privilege. He's just a white man who can say whatever he wants to say. He's never been told that he can't. He's never been told no. He understands that in his mind, there are no boundaries. There are no limits. I can say whatever I want. And then I'm going to justify what I say, and you should just believe what I say because I'm a white man in America. And so Trump said, okay, black folks, y'all should be listening, because he believes that the majority of the people in the inner cities and the rat-infested areas were people of color. So you should look at your elected officials and what they've been doing for you. Absolutely, you should. You should look in Baltimore. You should look in Detroit. You should look in Atlanta. You should look in California. You should look in Arkansas. Absolutely. You should be looking at anyone who says that they represent, are they best representing you? And that's in action. It's not just in conversation. People can easily talk about what they're going to do, but you have the letter of the law. You have monies and dollars to make it different for the people that you say you represent. And even more so, you have your time and your talents. So you can get out there, boots on the ground, and clean up the streets. So is that the space that we're in? And so that's an overview of where we're going to go with this on today. I just wanted to shape the conversation, to shape the narrative. I know all the lines are lit, so I'm going to get into everyone. Let me give us an opening quote, if you will, and I'll give a great Guten Morgen, wie geht's, in auf Deutsch bitte, because our quote is coming from Arthur Schopenhauer. He's a German philosopher. He was best known for his 1818 work, The World as Will and Representation, wherein he characterizes the phenomenal world as the product of a blind and insatiable metaphysical will. But the quote is this: all truth passes through 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed. Second, it is violently opposed. Third, it is accepted as being self-evident. So I'm asking us, first, it's been ridiculed. Oh my gosh, he couldn't have said it. Oh, how can you believe he said it? Okay. Second, it is violently opposed. Well, you didn't hear people say that it wasn't rat-infested and road-infested. You just heard them say that there are great things happening in Baltimore and there are great people that come from Baltimore. Think about what you've been hearing. Think about what you've been reported about. So no one said that wasn't the case. They just shift the narrative. And so third, is it accepted as being self-evident? Well, the truth of the matter is the residents who live in the squalor in every community know that's what it is. But I believe the truth of the matter is they really don't know what to do. And because you've been traumatized, you're dealing with all the other issues and dynamics in your everyday struggle to live, to survive. It's not even living, it's survival, that you know what? You just believe that status quo. When you walk down the street and it's an abandoned building and there's trash everywhere and there's tires and furniture that's sitting out, I believe that we've become so desensitized that we don't even look at that as why are we even living this way, or that it is just a condition of the environment that we're in. I don't think young people nowadays, that they're going through in their communities, that they think it's any other way. Those of us who grew up when there was a difference, when houses were in plentiful and they were furnished and people were living there, and those were isolated incidents, we weren't familiar with that. But now with the blight and all the usurping of resources in communities, rural and urban and inner alike, that our young people have just become known to believe that that is the way it's supposed to look. Thank you so much for your patience. Great morning to you.
Great morning to you.
Thank you.
You know you can sing, girl. A lot of issues you came across. I just want to throw a bunch at you as well.
Okay.
ACLU going after the Department of Health and Human Services to suspend those water shutoffs.
Yes.
Facial recognition contracts.
Yes.
Contractors are being paid to continue to enslave. California, they're gonna they're saying if no taxes,
yes,
no ballots for Trump will be dumped.
Yes.
Then I want to get to the Baltimore thing. Sounds like Detroit, more like a corporate shakedown. Over billions in public funds and resources, yes, given away since the bankruptcy. So I'm seeing the same thing that's happening all over in urban communities where everything is so privatized to the point that they control and own our representatives. Yeah. Because how could you allow these policies to be so draconian, so inhumane, so heartless, and so soulless, that you would allow children not to have a decent meal? Yes. The cuts are so bad that the children will not be able to have a meal. The policies dictated that he can have money for the wall while pensions in the military fall. Yes. So, you know, it all goes back to the private corporate entities, the gangster party that goes on tremendously. That's what I call terror in America, due to due to the draconian policies, so-called law and order, which we keep catching these cops that's planting cocaine and marijuana and whatever they can, so that they can grab you for more profit. So it's a profit over people. It's a gangster party, and it's going on and on and on. Nothing's changed. It's just another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the same horrendous act of crimes against humanity.
And so let me ask you this, and absolutely, I agree with everything that you said. So what do you think has to happen for us to finally realize that the business of government is not positioned to benefit the citizens?
That's right. You know what? When you look at the other country, what country was that where they made somebody resign because Americans appear to be afraid of the government, and other countries you see will come out in thousands, hundreds and thousands of people will come out and actually shut everything down,
yes,
and nothing can move, especially the commerce.
Yes.
So for some reason, people are too afraid, and that's why it's easy for them to keep making these draconian laws, to the point that people are getting arrested if they speak up and speak out. And they trying to make policies and rules where, you know, you can't even go to an open meeting unless you identify yourself.
Yes.
And or if they're watching you as you in the protest line, and they're targeting you any way they can. So they putting the fear in people not to shout out, and they put the fear into people to just shut down and shut up.
That's
but
right.
The people need to be woke up and shut them down.
Right. And you make a really great point, and I really want us, and callers I see, I'm going to get to everybody. We have time. I really want us to, honestly, like at this stage of the game, what else do we need to see in America that lets you say, or should make you say, aha, you have a president that does whatever he wants to do.
Every day.
Every day, all day, every day, he has not been removed from office. You have elected officials who know that he does whatever he wants to do, that they then, I believe, create platforms to benefit off of saying, I now need money. That's why you need to keep me here, because I'm going to fight him. I'm not trying to be funny, but you don't think that that is what Nancy Pelosi is doing? She is the Speaker of the House. So she has gone strategically to all these cities and had these fundraisers and said, yes, I need your support. I need your dollars, because we're going to fight Trump. And so my rhetoric with you in fighting Trump brings more money and brings more dollars into my coffer, so then I can spread them out for other campaigns to have other people that believe what I believe, or that I can be the Geppetto to their Pinocchio. But that is how they are fueling government. It doesn't benefit the people. It is the business of government. It's no different than you all watch the debate. We're going to get to the debate. You all know all of that is scripted. You don't think that it is? Did you all watch the debate? Do you even think about those things?
And I try to get everybody to, you can look it up on YouTube. It's called the CAFA accounts. Your tax dollars are being exploited. It's being used and abused against you. They always say they don't never have a budget and they want to keep taking your tax dollars, but they never tell you where those tax dollars are going.
Come on.
But it's called Comprehensive Annual Financial Audit. The
Yes.
CAFA accounts, YouTube CAFA accounts, they will break it down how they stealing all your tax dollars, and your money is being used to abuse.
And you make a great point, and thanks so much for the call. I'm going to get everybody in.
Okay.
And the truth of the matter is, the majority of the people that we elect into office, they don't understand government. They don't. They were lay people who's had a charge or had a calling and said they wanted to help people. They want a position in government. They want to be able to create the laws, but they really didn't understand the laws. Like if you look at what's happening right now in Baltimore, and they're talking about millions of dollars that they can't find, that grant monies, they don't know where they are. The mayor had talked about, even when he was in council, he was asking for these audits and these reconciliation of accounts so they know where the monies are. What do you mean you don't know where the money is? How can monies be pulled down from the government? You get the federal allocation. See, that's why we don't understand government. We don't understand what the role of a U.S. representative of Cummings on their appropriations, identifying dollars for the district, then they come through the state, then it's dispersed down into the communities, and we don't even understand where the money is. We don't understand how it gets into the coffer. We don't understand how it is distributed, and then we're sitting here having conversations about how we're going to benefit the people when we don't even know where the money is. And we can't even keep the streets clean. Stop it.
I got one last thing to say.
Please.
It ain't nothing but a gangster party, and I'm not letting the poverty pimps off the hook. How come we got black folks? How come black folks have mega churches but don't have mega banks or mega schools and mega anything else that we need so that we can navigate every day?
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you why not. Because guess why? Because a white man didn't come to them and tell them how to do it. So if somebody white would have come to them and said, guess what, I'm going to help you create this bank. This is why you need to create this credit union. Because they didn't go do that, they haven't done it. Remember, we want to act like we free, but we not free. We put ourselves in positions to get all this power and influence, and we do nothing with it. We do nothing with it but work to take those monies in to make it better for us. So it's the head of the church, as long as the pastor driving good and the first lady driving good and they living in a big house and they look prosperous and they've led us to believe that that is the way that it should be, while you're giving your tithe and you're giving your offering, and then they're taking that money because the banks know that on that Monday they get those deposits from those big churches on Monday, and that's going to go and take them from all other things they need to do. But you can't even come back and create a building fund. You can't even come back and create an investment group. You can't even come back and make your money work for you in a line of credit. Stop it. But we don't want to have a conversation because we just want to get mad because Trump said the community's nasty. I appreciate your call. I'm going to get everybody in today. I know today you all might think I'm a little bit off the chain, and that's fine, and maybe it's the medication talking, but I need us to have the real conversations because it's really crucial. So I appreciate your patience, and great morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Collette.
Are you there?
Hello, Collette.
Hey, I can barely hear you, Deputy Chief.
Yeah, how you doing? I see you got a cold, but take some lemon and honey, you'll be fine.
I've been doing that. This whole thing I won't even give it life, but I'm so much better. But Deputy Chief, I need more volume. I can barely hear you.
Oh, wow. Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Okay. Look, here's the reason everybody is mad.
Okay.
And they don't know what to do.
Okay.
Because the most powerful man or person in the world have called them out.
Okay.
Okay. This man know exactly how much Baltimore, Detroit, all those cities that you named, Atlanta, anywhere in California, he know exactly how much money was given to each one of those cities.
Okay.
And he's saying, I'm holding you accountable. What did you do with the money? In Baltimore's case, billions of dollars over the years. And why is Baltimore looking the way it is?
Yeah.
Now, here's a white man. We know what Trump is about.
Yes.
But this time, he has told the truth because you got so-called black leaders, the NAACP, the Urban League, the preachers. They can't explain it. And so Detroit is the same way. You got billions of dollars that have come to Detroit over the years.
Yes.
Why is Detroit in the situation that it is?
Yes.
Poverty, unemployment, privatization. You got the NAACP. You got over 100 ministers supporting a carpetbag mayor. They know that what he's doing is wrong.
Okay.
You got 7 people sitting on council that look black, that are black, but they don't think black, and they ain't saying nothing. And the reason they're not saying anything and holding the mayor accountable is because he's white. It's just that simple. And so this is why I say we have a ship of fools over in the city-county building.
Yeah.
The mayor, the city clerk, 7 of the council members. You got, really 8, but you only have 1 that's Latino that's speaking up for the interests of the people.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So next thing you know, I mean, hey, what are ministers going to say now? What is the NAACP going to say now? They stand there looking like a fool because, like I say, the most powerful person in the world that can put the needle on the exact amount of money that Detroit has received has spoken out. Mm-hmm. He can speak out on Baltimore to the penny. And that's why Elijah Cummings is looking stupid. Okay? He can't explain it. And so the people, they can't explain, they can't even come up with a lie to cover for him. Okay? So this is why we came up with Detroiters United LLC.
Okay.
In Detroit, we have to get a handle on this failed leadership, because that's exactly what we have. We cannot continue this paradigm, keep putting incompetence in elected office. And so we need to remove the mayor, the city clerk, 8 members of the council.
Okay.
We need to remove the police chief. I mean, how the hell are you going to have a police chief that's been the chief of Detroit since 2013? Crime was high then. Look at it now. And his pay has increased from $100 and some thousand dollars to $225,000 a year.
Okay.
Crime is off the hook.
Okay.
Okay? And so, again, this Saturday, well, not this Saturday, but on the 10th, Detroiters United, there's a call to action from 2 to 5. We're going to be addressing solutions for quality of life improvement in Detroit, make Detroit retiree whole, the 2020 Detroit local election, and we're fighting for and addressing, protecting the interests of our future. That's our children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. The questions can be directed to me at 313-399-8290.
Okay.
Raymond Stevens, 313-205-3297. Kenny Camberman Holloway, 313-778-0979. Lori Park, 313-492-6774.
Okay.
We need to make the retirees whole.
Sure.
You got all this money you're giving to developers, but the Detroit retirees that was thrown under the bus during the bankruptcy, they need to be made whole. They need their pensions need to be restored fully, their annuities need to be restored fully, and their health benefits need to be restored. So we are asking for everyone, especially the retirees, to come to our call to action.
Absolutely. So everyone, you got it. You've gotten the invitation. You have all the contact information. There's an opportunity for you to jump in and actively have a conversation, be a part of a plan that will change what it looks like for you in your everyday lives. So Deputy Chief, I appreciate your call. I appreciate your efforts. Thank you so much. And so everyone, I want to ask, and I'm going to get to all the other callers in, because I see everyone. So I want to ask, think about it. When you have, and we see it every year, when you see the, like, United Methodist Church, or you see all these different groups, and you see all these white folks that come in, they get their young people, and they come in, what's the first thing they do in communities? Clean. Have you noticed that? They get all the folks, or the volunteers, or coming from corporate America, all they do is come into the communities and clean. So they're cutting grass, they're picking up debris, they clean. So clearly, the perception in all of our communities is that it's dirty, it's filthy. So when we're going to come in and help you all clean around you. Did you all think about that? Because you all see them all the time. When they have their service projects and community projects, what do? Soon as they come into the communities, they clean. We're sitting right here, we don't clean. Or when the president talks about that it's being filthy and dirty, we sit and we get mad. I'm just asking, is that what the focus is? I mean, let me see what you think. All the lines are lit. I'm going to get to everyone. We have time. Good morning to you.
Well, that cleaning the community is kind of disingenuous. And It has a little undertone to that because of all the things that they can do in your community. Bringing a broom and a shovel is the least of our concerns. So that makes it look bad. The first thing we do, we have to clean Detroit. You ain't got to clean Detroit. Clean your mentality first when you come to Detroit with your silly benevolent programs that they do just to get pub. I don't care about a broom. I'll sweep the block when I'm ready. Why don't y'all get off our necks when it comes to our water department? Come in Detroit with the broom to do that. Go to the seniors and help them with their water bills, Chrysler, Ford, whoever they is who like to show out when they feel like it. Listen, Collette, we are not the same.
Okay.
Black people ain't the same. And I think
what does that
a lot
mean?
of times
What does that
we
mean?
miss that.
Wait, say it. What does that mean? Black people aren't the same in comparison to something else?
In comparison to everything.
Okay.
This is why nothing really works, because we ain't the same.
Okay.
And we don't think the same.
Okay.
Bottom line, why do the churches do this and this don't happen? Because you're not the pastor of that church, and you don't think like him, and he don't think like you.
Okay.
If we all thought the same, then everything would be the way we needed to be.
Okay.
But apparently, we don't think the same. This is why you have to get with the like-minded in your community, in your family, in your block, in your circle. And you and the like-minded do those things that you and the like-minded know that will put y'all where y'all like to be.
Okay.
All of that, I'm about to include this group. And I want to, no, don't include nobody. Stop that. Been doing that since the 70s. It still ain't worked. The only ones who were successful with it was the Black Panthers and people like that.
Okay.
And even today, we are too afraid to pick up what worked. We're always trying to find something new. Well, I got a new way of helping black people. What about the old way? The way that worked before the attack. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be like-minded to make things work. You will have a meeting, and everybody in that meeting think differently.
Okay.
Everybody come out that meeting with a different direction and a different perception.
Okay.
And nothing gets done. And then we call and complain about it. You know, it takes a village to raise a child.
Okay.
But the ruin of a nation begins in the home. You know what I'm saying? Think about that concept. The ruin begins in the home.
Well, now let me just stay there for a minute. Because now if you want to talk about what the home looks like, we don't even have home structure.
See, I didn't want to go there.
Well, we was going to go there,
right.
so come on. You said it.
No, you're right. And that is something that amid everything that we're going through, we are still missing the mark on what it is that we must do for ourselves and within ourselves.
Yes.
So that things can be better on the outside. We got to stop pretending that things are gravy and they're not on the lower level.
Yes.
You cannot have a lower level in a successful top level because the top level have to do something to appease the lower level. Does the lower level have to do something too to step up to that appease?
Yeah.
We got to start, I said it before, that stinking thinking is still alive and well in our community. Yeah. Before I go, we seen Lawrence get arrested a couple of days ago. The young man who hit that boy when he crashed on Davis.
Yes.
He was 23. Collette, I knew that boy when he was 5 years old.
Wow.
I used to tell his mother, I said, drop him off at my house anytime. Just drop him off. Okay. I don't care what time of day it is. Drop him off to us. I don't need nobody, and I don't need his dad, and F his daddy, and I don't need nobody. I got it. If he mess up, I F him up. This is the mother he came from.
Okay.
This is the abuse that our boys suffer. We're so busy always talking about the young girls, but we never talk about the abuse that our little boys suffer, all because they little boys. We think that they can take anything that's thrown at them, even at toddler age.
Yeah.
That needs to change.
Yes.
And if the stuff like that change, we can't talk about Mike Duggan. We can't talk about Trump. We got so many underlying issues within our own community that we refuse to address that. If we did have a chance to do something about the latter, we can't because we still tangled up in a web of BS that we still refuse to address.
Yes.
If you see a woman abusing a child or a man abusing a child and you don't say nothing, you are just as worse as that abuser.
Yes.
We have a huge child abuse problem in our community.
Yes.
Nobody talks about that on the radio or on TV. Why? Because who's the one in the home by themselves with that? We still protecting that parent. still relieving that parent of responsibility and accountability. And now we got a Lawrence who was doomed from day one. I seen it with my own eyes.
Wow. Wow.
For at least 9 years of his life, I seen the abuse. No woman would say anything. No man would say nothing. Because we have women in our community, some who act like men when they being checked on their behavior. And most men will bow down because no man wants to ever argue or buck up against a woman. Isn't that something?
Well, so stay there now, because you done brought it back home and call us. Don't go anywhere. We got all of you. So there we go. So there we have it yet again. We don't have our foundation together. And when you see people, because think about everybody, when you see parents chastising children or whatever the case may be, and what do people always say? Well, my parents spoke to me like that, or my parent was worse than that, or when I grew up. So we justify all of that, and the trauma that we have all suffered, no one wants to address. So we keep repeating the cycle. And we don't understand how the trauma impacts all of us. So because I don't know how to have a healthy relationship, I don't know how to interact, I don't know how to communicate, I don't know what love looks like, I don't know what commitment looks like, I don't know what sacrifice looks like, I don't know what working together looks like. So then we can't even create a structure with men and women, and then it becomes I got to get you before you get me, or I'm going to use what I got to get what I want because you only want something from me. And how does that work for us? How is it just working for us? You said it. I mean, Lawrence, there's so many Lawrences of the world who needed a male figure in his life. Period. And it doesn't take any way. I mean, and I'm sure the mother in her mind believes, she's probably thinking back right now on all the things she should have done differently, could have done differently. But she's probably a version of how she was raised and where she came from.
She's passed while he was a teenager.
Wow.
And when I say I've seen it all, from mama to grandmother, this was something that was, I guess it was, they were even through their own father. I've seen it with my own eyes. Wow. And I say, verbal abuse has been proven to be just as bad and worse as physical abuse.
Say it. Verbal, emotional.
Woman,
yes.
And you buck up against, let me tell you, when you do this to your son, men and women, when we do this to a toddler, when they do something wrong, and your response is shut the F up, sit the F down. When every word comes out of your mouth to your child is an explicit, or however you want to characterize it,
right.
What do you think is going to come out of their mouth when they come of age? When they get into situations like that, they're going to say, and then you going to come up there to the school and beat them for saying the same thing that came out your mouth.
Right.
Remember, you told them to shut the F up.
Right.
You told them how many times you would F them up.
Yes.
We act like it don't exist. I done heard it in Family Dollars. I done heard it at gas stations. Yeah. I done heard it at picnics. Yeah. But no one says nothing. Yeah. No one says nothing. We would even know there's a molester in our family. We just keep the kids away from them. We don't even put them on blast.
Come on.
I remember the old folks used to tell you, hey, come on over, but your little boy don't steal no more, do he?
Right.
Your little girl, she don't be up in young old men faces no more, do she? She's so sweet. Old folks will put you on blast in front of everybody.
Yeah.
It's all right to cover. You wash up now, don't you? Because, last time you weren't smelling too good.
Right.
They get you.
Right.
But what they did, they got you right there. They didn't give you a legacy to build. They let you know, you're not coming in because your kids steal.
Yeah.
And your kids knew that grandma knew they were stealing.
Right.
You knew that they were. And grandma challenged you to do something about that, which is why she always put you on blast.
Right.
That's why she asked you, do they still steal?
Yeah. Right.
You haven't just, no, Mama, I taught them better than that.
Right.
That's all she want to know. I taught them better. Are we teaching them better? And Collette, I'm sorry, 20 years later, we are not.
Yeah, man. Wow.
It's
Yeah.
real deep, didn't it?
Yes. Yes. Everyone, I mean, I want you to get it. All the conversations that we have, I just wanted to come back to us. It's not about what everybody else says. Yes, that could be the catalyst of the engagement. That could be the catalyst for the conversations. But it all comes back to us being under our own microscope. And it boils back to us. It's us. Absolutely, Six. I appreciate your call.
Well, thank you.
Oh, have an amazing day. Thank you. All the lines are lit. We're going to continue the conversation, and it's true. It all boils back to us. But unless you tell me something different, unless you say that Trump was just wrong about all things and everything is gravy, you might want to tell me that. Thanks for your patience. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Queen.
Good morning, King.
Excellent subject as usual.
Thank you.
You know, Queen, all your callers are making real good points.
Yeah.
And you know, and what it really shows is that most of us don't look at the fact that we've been damaged, all of us.
Yes.
And that's what we don't really realize, that we need, understand, intervention.
Yes.
And you know, and it's going to take somebody from on high to even deal with our situation or whatever. And that's why, you know, we are people who we know and we believe that there is a supreme being, one who has the answers to all of our problems.
Sure.
And it's you know, we have looked to others as if they were the supreme beings, and we continue to do that, and this is why we continue to be in the rut that we are in as a people, whatever, because we profess God, but we look to God. We show signs of actually worshiping an individual or race, understand, that has put us in this condition, and we're looking for an answer and a solution to come from the very people who have orchestrated all of this.
Yeah.
You know, and we don't want to admit to that, or we're afraid of upsetting the cart or tipping the cart, but in reality, and all of it or whatever, the very people understand that we are afraid to expose. When you talk about your number one enemy, it's the government. It's the government, and we as a people, we don't want to see that. We try to make all kind of excuses, or we try to find all kind of ways that we can get out of this, and we will never get out of it, understand, because we're still using their tools and whatnot to try to get up. It ain't gonna happen, and so, brother has said, we all, you know, we all looking at different ways of. Or different, we were not all alike. We don't all think alike.
Right.
And I will go down that the only solution is a solution that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gave us, and that's total separation. Okay. Because we are people that have foster parents who don't love us.
Okay.
And so, you know, we pray, Our Father, which is in heaven. Okay. So we got to go back to our Father. And our Father wants us to completely separate, and that's the only solution, because now we're witnessing, as I will continue to say, Donald Trump was put in office, and we got to see the hand of God in that. Donald Trump, understand, is that catalyst or whatever that's exposing. He's bringing out all that that's been hidden for years and years.
I believe that.
And so when we talk about, like I said yesterday, when the people really wake up to really see what has been going on, then you're going to see bloodshed, or you're going to see blood up to the horse's bridle in the streets, because they're going to be so angry with the church, with the government, with all these so-called leaders and whatnot. They're going to be really angry because you're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars that has been jacked off.
Right.
I mean, you know, it just benefited just a handful, which that most of our people who are suffering, that just wants to live.
Well, stay there for a minute, King. Stay there. Now, I believe, and I agree with you. Let me say that. But I believe that we're dealing with a mindset. Remember, we've been indoctrinated.
Absolutely right.
I don't believe that you will ever see us in the type of uproar that you see people like in Puerto Rico, or people in Uruguay, or people who, come by the thousands to sit and talk about I have rights and you're not giving me my just due. Because I understand the consciousness that you are sharing with us, but the truth of the matter is we don't believe that. We don't believe that. You will still have people right here. Someone's going to hit me today and say, Collette, you were wrong. I'm telling you, because folks hit me yesterday and said, Collette, you were wrong. That it was wrong. And when you sit and try to talk about, it's not us, it's them. It's what they're supposed to do for us.
No.
I'm like, well, wait a minute. Your number one enemy, and this is what it's not the government, it's you. It's you. You are not your best person. Your family is not its best position. Your community is not its best because you don't know. You don't have it together. You don't understand the truths of what this is. It is so true in the Matrix, the red or the green pill. It is so true, that adage we all heard growing up, ignorance is bliss. And you didn't understand that. What does that mean? What do you mean if you don't know it makes it feel like it's euphoric? Because when people walk around and they don't know, then they don't have a consciousness, to your point, to say, I'm being hoodwinked. I'm being bamboozled. All this stuff that you're talking about, none of it will ever benefit me. Because I don't understand government. I don't understand the system. I don't understand it to understand how to make it work for me. And everybody that I listen to, the only mindset that they have is that in which that same system taught them. And I give them my power because I believe that they know more than me. But they only know more than me based on what they have attained in this oppressive system that still taught them. So it's the blind leading the blind.
And you're right.
And then we get mad because I'm telling you, I had people call me that told me I was wrong for starting this conversation. That I was wrong, that I was playing right into what they wanted us to have a conversation and to play into. And if that's what you believe, I don't have a problem. We can talk about it, but I just want to understand that if I'm in a situation of power, where I'm at right now is power. Where you are right now is power. Because what you speak and what you do creates action and impact. I'm not going to sit and wait for people to come and save us. Because they're not going to come.
They're not coming.
That's not what this is about. Your pastor ain't going to save you. The government's not going to save you. God gives you the thought and the idea of knowing what it is. We know what it is. We know the difference between right and wrong. We know what we should have and what we shouldn't have. We know what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Now, it's up to us to decide, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to apply myself. I'm going to work hard by any means necessary. Absolutely. It wasn't made for us. It wasn't built for us. You all heard Donald Trump. He went from fussing out Elijah Cummings to going to Jamestown, Virginia to have a conversation to commemorate African Americans. And what did he say? I'm going to give you all a quote. And everybody, don't go anywhere. All the lines are lit. I want to let you know what Donald Trump said. So at least he was astute enough to get this. Let me just tell you. Donald Trump went to Virginia, Jamestown. Less than 2 hours after his comments to the White House lawn, Trump praised African-American contributions to the nation at a speech in Jamestown, Virginia, saying, quote, "In the face of grave oppression and grave injustice, African-Americans have built, strengthened, inspired, uplifted, protected, defended, and sustained our nation from its very earliest days." He quoted Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. saying that after the Civil War, it would take another century for the nation to live out the true meaning of its creed and extend the blessings of freedoms to all Americans. He said it, everybody.
But
He doesn't tell. So everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows what this is, except us.
and Queen, it's on us. It's in our lap. It's in our lap, and it's on us or whatever. And we can continue the cycle if we choose to. But the separation is taking place right now. People are being separated, put in different groups as we speak, as your show is on it. And you're very important you are a very important instrument with God. Whether you believe it or not, God is using you because you're an instrument, and your show is so important because you don't realize how you are really, really affecting and what you're saying and what you're putting out there. It's instrumental in this time. Because nobody talks like the way your show, the way you address your show and the questions that you put before us. Nobody does that, Queen. You're the only one that's actually doing that. And so us who are listening to it understand this thing is like a cancer. People are being separated. They're being put in different groups just by your show. Yeah. If you was on prime time somewhere where you can be shown, you be way up at the top because, like I said, you're bold enough and you got the courage to ask the questions or to put them out there.
Well, let me say this,
does that
King, and I appreciate that, King. And let me say this.
Your show.
No, I appreciate you. I love you.
Your show.
I love you all. And let me just tell you, I wouldn't be on prime time. I wouldn't be on prime time, let me tell you, because you all know those are scripted. It's a teleprompt. They tell you what to say. When you watch, I know all of you all watch MSNBC and you watch CNN. It's a teleprompt that runs that tells you the words to say. And as a talent, you might jump in because people produce you. So they tell you what to say, they give you the conversation, and you talk about the same thing through each news talent. It's the cycle, right? And so the truth is, we would never have this conversation on prime time.
Absolutely right.
Because they're not going to give that credence to this type of platform. That's why I'm so appreciative of WHPR TV 33 and what RJ saw in me 4 years ago to give me the opportunity to have a conversation. And the truth of the matter is, that's all I want for us. Because I know that you're me. I know that I'm you. It doesn't make a difference what school I went to, what school you went to. At the end of the day, it is about us. And I know that if my experiences with your experiences and us just having a real conversation, that at some point we'll have a light bulb moment. At some point, we'll have something in us that makes us look at it differently and then act differently. Because this is the only life we have, everybody.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
That's it.
The only life.
This is the only life we got.
Just think if all the churches that we see, all these thousands of churches in the city would sit down and just air your show in the church with the people sitting around, in the mosques, in the temples and whatnot, you know how that would affect them people? It would have an effect that it would, like I said, this is the thing that most of us are unconscious of, and that is that you about to see revolution because it's being Donald Trump and whatnot, and with the forces of nature and whatnot, we can't even see America about to unravel right before our very. We better gear up our loins and prepare for the worst because the worst is about to come.
Well, the truth of the matter, excuse me, I believe that it is here. Remember, we talk about that. Megatrends 2000, Megatrends Asia. It talks about this new society. And the truth is, it is a nomadic society. It is happening right now. I mean, if you all realize, and everyone, I'm going to get you, all the lines are lit, I see you. Don't go anywhere, everybody. But if you look now, every news cycle is talking about addiction. Every news cycle shows you something in some part of this world that people are so caught up in drugs, so caught up in removing themselves, so caught up in trying to self-medicate. That is a separate society. So much so, do you see that it's the divisions right now?
That's right.
It's happening right before our eyes, and so many of us are in a space that we just don't even see what it is. We're so busy in our space trying to focus to maintain what we've had in this world of tangibles. We're so busy trying to get this title and get this money and live in this house and drive this car. And I'm not, whatever you all need to do that you feel you need to do, I'm not talking about any of that, but that removes us from everything else that's around us. This universe and this world is moving.
It's moving.
And all I'm asking us is, and in the midst of all this stuff happening, if you don't have a level of consciousness to be able to address it, at some point it will impact you, your children, if they are not prepared. If you are not having the conversations, your grandchildren, your parents, your loved ones, your community, it will hit in all these various of ways because we won't have the conversations.
That's right.
Everyone. And so that's it.
And Queen, you know, your show does that. Like I said, you know, these conversations we don't have, and it's serious. I mean, it's serious as we continue. Like I say, 2019 is a secret code, and you're gonna see storm. They're gonna continue to intensify it as brother a couple of weeks told us. You're gonna continue watch the storms intensify. For the food shortage, the threat of war all over. And you know what? The American people, we don't rise up because we've been, as you just said, we've been inoculated.
Yeah.
We've been drugged out. So most of us got a cigarette, we got an alcohol, we got all these different impediments or problems that we're dealing with, hang-ups.
Yeah.
And when we just stand around and everything's going all around us, understand? Because we got all these vices that have got us just caught up. I mean, just riding, looking through the neighborhood at our people. Look at us.
Yeah.
We in bad condition. We're not they have waged war on us, understand, for the last 100 years, and we don't even realize because they've been using weapons in this quiet war.
Yeah. Well, King, let me just tell you.
Love you, Queen.
I love you,
Have
King.
a blessed weekend.
Oh, you too as well. Everyone, look, I'm just trying to tell you that nothing formed against us shall prosper. And so as we understand it to be that if we know that we can be better, it's just one. Let me go to the line. Thanks for your patience. Good morning to you.
Collette, Deputy Chief Amos.
Yes.
Everything that King just said, everything that you've been saying today and yesterday, to sum it up, learning is the immediate discovery of your ignorance. We must have common sense and the ability to analyze situations and provide solutions.
Absolutely.
And that's why we're asking everyone to come to this call to action hosted by Detroiters United LLC at Mary Grove College, August 10th, and assemble in the Madam Cadillac building, second floor.
All right.
Hey, again, this president, love him or hate him, he have called out all the so-called Negro leaders that have BS our community nationwide for the past 50 years.
Yeah. And let me just say, and to his credit, it's not just the Negro leaders. He didn't call out everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's an equal opportunity. He's just telling all of y'all. You just need to look at everybody. What did he tell Nancy Pelosi? Your community ain't better either.
Yeah, this is the President of the United States to have all the financial information on every city that a federal dollar have gone to.
Yeah. He just said everybody. Now I'm just telling everybody. I appreciate your call, Deputy Chief.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your patience. Great morning to you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
It's been a while since I've talked to you, Collette.
Yes, I know. Have you been?
Doing what I've always said to you, Collette, Thomas Tate, is human cleaning. Since we talked and since I talked to Henry back in 2018.
Yes.
Now, I said to you that the car is going to be paid about the second month in 2020.
Yes.
Brother had moved it to September.
Hey!
Remember? Did you hear what I just said? I've been doing this human cleaning, this basic cleaning all the time. We're not basic, Collette.
Yeah.
When do you ask yourself the question, how am I responding to myself as the mother of the earth, the father of the earth? And I said that to you before. They saltine cracker tricks. They're so infected with this, and I'll say this to you. They have poured evil into the belly of the earth. It is so infected that they don't get it. And I said, Collette, when they go to the basic part of themselves, they don't know how to act because you are a saltine cracker trick sample. Strike a pose.
That's what you said.
Because that's what you is. You are a trophy truth. You're not even your own true self. You're not Mother Africa. You're not Father Africa. You're not Mother of the Earth. You're not Father of the Earth who teaches things how to grow. I mean, Father of the Earth, the keeper, the protector, teaches things how to grow. Mother of the Earth teaches things how to grow because you're the Mother of the Earth that gives us the privilege to walk on this earth. You don't have the basics. So how are you going to move forward when you still using somebody else's mind? You are a trained, addicted person to separatism, hatred, poverty, and killing, all of which they are.
Yeah.
Margaret, soon one day you're going to see 5,000, 100,000, 200,000 people dying at one time. It's coming. If you mount it up, and right now, if you mount it up, all over the world, there's a lot of people dying right now. Keep doing what I said. Punch them in the face because they don't understand. I said this to you all my life. I've been doing it. I don't have everything else, but I do have my basic parts together.
Yeah.
Ask yourself the question about what do you feel? Am I right? Am I wrong? What's weak? What's strong about myself? Am I really my true mother? Am I my father? It states in the Bible, love thy mother, thy father, follow thy mother, but love thyself. You're not even basic. So I said it to you again.
Yeah.
Soon, once I get this together and tighten up, do all the rest of this cleanup, so I get this money saved and do all the things I'm after, not borrow from nobody, get all the repairs and things done, the sacrifice. You don't sacrifice and you're not clean because you're not yourself as a whole. So I say, you know that.
Yeah.
You under one building. This building right here got everything we need. I'm waiting for I got this vision right here. This station has got to spread abroad so that we can get to our people. It ain't about who and what they're going to these different places. This station got everything we need. One day, this money going to come about, Collette. Mark my word, and we're going to spread around. It's going to be all in Detroit and other places. We need to have this station all over. I mean, you need to have a little mini station. I know we reaching it, but you need to have a little mini station. I love you. I love you with you always.
I love with you always. That's what I'm going. Oh my gosh, I love your last comment for the day. You got a minute. I apologize. Thanks for your patience.
Just quickly, you're not being slave. You're not being saved. You're not saved because you don't know you're being enslaved. Thank you for taking my call.
Everyone, listen, you are not saved because you don't know that you are being enslaved. Everyone, our time is up. We've had amazing, amazing conversations today. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you who were able to call in. You called in. I appreciate your patience. And those of you who watched who didn't call in. But I pray that the conversation resonates with you. I pray that you're thinking through everything that you see, everything that you hear, what people tell you. Just take a moment to think through and determine how it best fits you, and always understand from whose point of view it comes from, because they're always trying to shape the narrative. My narrative with us today is just that you get the information, are able to think through the information, dissect the information, so that you can take what is applicable to you and then put legs in action to have a positive impact. I'm going to leave us with this quote from Sojourner Truth. She was our own African-American abolitionist and woman civil rights activist. And of course, you all know she was born into slavery in New York, and she escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1826. And she said, "Truth is powerful and it prevails." I know that, and you know that. Continue to make your moments matter, to make your day amazing. Know that truth is powerful and it will prevail. The truth is the truth. You can't change it. I love you. Have an amazing day. Look forward to seeing you bright and early. But I think I'm going to see you a little earlier than we think. Next week, maybe Tuesday. you'll hear about it because a lot of things are happening. But we'll be back here to have a conversation that matters. See you then.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Collette Ramsey. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the WHPR TV Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern.